Separated from your party post-battle in the Underdark, you trudge quietly through the silent caverns, expecting horrors around every turn. Ahead, a small hut appears empty, so you take a break and bandage some of your more egregious wounds. Out of the corner of your eye, you see something move and a cupboard slam shut. A mimic? Possibly. The closet looks like a decent place to finish your triage before you move on. The space is empty, save for a very well-kept leather cloak. This might sell for something if you make it out of here. As you go to grab and stash the Welcome back to a Compendium of Monsters, it's Cloaker Week. Before we continue, slap that subscribe button and take care the next time you put on a coat. It could be a monster in disguise. Cloakers are challenge level 8, and if you've been in the Underdark, one probably ate a party member for breakfast. These large aberrations have an armor class of 14, average hit points of 78, a speed of 10 feet, a flying speed of 40 feet, and dark vision out to 60 feet. Cloakers speak deep speech and undercommon because Shar forbid they're not able to talk smack as they smother a sentient victim. Cloakers have 3 abilities. Starting with damage transfer, this incredibly rare ability allows a cloaker who has grappled a victim to take only half damage while the creature it grapples takes the other half. Talk about a bad time when you're just trying to smack this stupid leather jacket off your head. Get off of me, you smell like... Cloakers have the false appearance ability, but it differs from the traditional sense because stationary cloakers who don't expose their fuzzy underbelly are indistinguishable from dark leather cloaks. Yeah, that's not totally suspicious to see a dark leather cloak clinging to the walls or a ceiling of a random cave. Not at all. Last, cloakers have the light sensitivity ability, which is more of a detriment than an ability. While in bright light from any source, a cloaker has disadvantage on attack rolls and perception checks related to sight. I get why the Underdark has its name, but come on. This week in Faerun's nightly news, Underdark predator defeated by a simple torch. See how this primitive light source can save your life in the world's most dangerous underground maze. The joke here, of course, is that the light from the torch will attract many worse things than cloakers. Cloakers have a basic multi-attack that is incredibly deadly if you're unlucky. One tail attack and one bite attack that can be made against one creature or 2 separate creatures, though any creature size large or smaller hit by the bite attack is immediately grappled. Yeah, because this filthy cloak has the added bonus of being sticky from who knows what. Gross. Future bite attacks can only be made against the grappled creature, but these bite attacks have advantage to hit. Because yes, I'd love to have this filthy cloak carve its way through my flesh with its stabby zipper mouth. If a cloaker has advantage on its attack against a creature, the cloaker attaches to the creature's head, causing blindness and suffocation. That's probably my worst nightmare. No Underdark trip is worth this. If the cloaker sustains significant damage, the cloaker can remove itself from a creature it has grappled by spending 5 feet of its movement speed. Otherwise, a creature grappled by a cloaker must succeed on a DC 16 strength check to remove it. Cloakers have the Phantasms action, which recharges after a long or short rest. The cloaker creates 3 illusory copies of itself so long as the cloaker is not in bright light. Any creature that attacks the cloaker while the illusory copies are active must roll a dice to determine if they struck a copy or the actual cloaker. You know, wizards, it would be nice if you maybe included the numbers we needed for this interaction. Thank you! The duplicates share the cloaker's armor class and saving throws, but vanish the second they take any damage. If the cloaker enters an area of bright light, the illusory copies immediately disappear. So there are 2 easy solutions: fireball or a light cantrip. Or just wield your torch like a crazy person, assuming you're chaotic enough to carry one in the Underdark. Last, cloakers have the moan action. Oh! Yeah, not the best name for the ability because now I can only ever do the cloaker's moan just like that. Groan is also bad. Stick with unsexy things like shriek, screech, snarl, and you'll be fine. Or maybe that makes things worse, but who am I to judge your preferences? Moan forces each non-aberrant creature within 60 feet of the cloaker to make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened of the until the end of the cloaker's next turn. Interestingly, the only way to get 24 hours of immunity to a cloaker's moan is to succeed on the saving throw, meaning it can at you repeatedly while killing your friend. Here's a delightful tidbit from the descriptive text, just so I don't have to endure this alone. At higher intensities, a cloaker's haunting becomes audible, evoking sensations of doom and dread in the creatures that hear it. I'm not sure if this is kinky or awful. Maybe a bit of both? Perhaps understandably, cloakers prefer to attack lone or wounded targets. Each additional ally their target has increases the potential that the cloaker will miss a meal. I like to think that right after a meal, the cloaker's coat becomes more luxurious as it absorbs nutrients from its prey, making it more likely no one will suspect the leather cloak is in fact a demon! Aberration, but you understand. Cloakers are solitary creatures because 2 leather cloaks hanging on a wall gives a "get out now" vibe versus a general suspicion vibe. But the fact that cloakers briefly gather is one of the more fascinating things about them. With an intelligence score of 13, cloakers are more than twice as intelligent than most beasts and interact with each other to share information about hunting grounds, dangers, or things that affect their general environment. Cloakers have two sets of eyes, their beady eyes, for when confronting a creature they're attacking, and a set of eyes that casually run down their backs. Cloakers are described as flying akin to how stingrays glide underwater. Honestly, I'm not super sure about this, but I'd feel better about it if cloakers could hover. Hold that thought, because a horrifying idea just came to mind. If a cloaker grapples a creature and flies upwards 20 feet and just decides to stop flying, have we stumbled on a new variation of Bonk Splat? Oh, yes! But this variation is Bonk Splat sibling, Chomp Splat. The damage transferability does not specify weapon damage. If we consider the cloaker is dealing damage to itself after deliberately falling, the cloaker would only take half damage from the fall, while the creature it's grappling would take full damage from the fall plus half the damage from the cloaker's fall. What an efficient way to kill a victim! That plus the damage from the bite could really kill a creature in no time at all. I don't understand why I'm advocating for this approach, but if I understood half the things I did, I'd consider myself lucky. Anyways, what do you all think of cloakers? Let me know in the comments below. A special thank you to my lovely patrons for your support. And thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, share my video on your Twitter, Facebook, or other social media, and make the leap to become one of my patrons on Patreon. I'll see you all next time.